This is the old, and this is the new. Here on the MBTA commuter rail, old is becoming hard to come by, and new is around just about every corner you look at. While this is a fantastic situation to be in, rail fans often find themselves torn about whether to cherish the old or celebrate the new. Come along as we ask, why not both? To understand where to find old and new equipment, you must first look at the way the MBTA commuter rail is set up. The commuter rail is split into two sides, one with lines funneling out of South Station known as the South Side, and one with lines funneling out of North Station known as the North Side. The much lower ridership North Side typically gets the older, less reliable equipment for multiple reasons. 1. The Boston Engine Terminal, the main maintenance facility for the commuter rail, is on the north side, so these trains have easy access to repair if they break. 2. The T is currently experimenting with using an automatic door system on the south side, which is only compatible with HSP46s, F40PH3Cs, and the very newest of rebuilt GP40MCs from Rochester. Because of this, almost all Jeeps on the MBTA are found in service on the north side, except for the select few rebuilt at Rochester. Given their adaptability, these can be found on whichever side needs power. Keep in mind that at the time I am recording this, 1138 and 1137 are the only two that have gone in service on the south side. So what brings us out here? Well, today, 2 light locomotives are being sent from Reedville Yard to pick up a flat car on the Grand Junction runaround to be delivered to the Titcut Street siding in Middleborough. On the consist is one of these Rochester Jeeps, 1138, alongside F40PH3C 1025. Trains aren't the only thing going over the Charles River today. Boats full of rowers preparing for a regatta are peppering the waters. "1138 would hook off of the 1025 and switch onto the runaround track to get the flat car. The overhaul of 1138 is what made this move possible. 1138, along with all other Jeeps in the Rochester program, sans 1136, had its brakes upgraded to a 26L system, capable of working with that of freight cars. While we wait for 1138 to complete a brake test and finish switching, let's head up north to Rockport and see how the old Jeeps are doing. Now when I talk about the old, I'm referring to the last two GP40MCs on the MBTA system that haven't been rebuilt in the last 10 years. We sit in Rockport on this afternoon with GP40MC 1134 on the left and 1127 approaching on the right. These famed last two Jeeps in the same place. What really makes these two special to me is the mechanical bell. These sure are hard to come by on the system today. Now I must mention that GP40MC 1136 also has a mechanical bell. This locomotive was the first unit a part of the major engine overhaul program at the Rochester shops that 1138, 1117, 1137, 1125, and 1129 all went through. Oh, and by the way, the Rochester Shops is an MBTA-owned heavy maintenance facility and equipment testing site located in West Wareham, Massachusetts. Recently, the Rochester Shops released 1129, the first of a possible fleet of Heritage Unit locomotives, and the newest Jeep on the system. Three out of 6 of these new Rochester Jeeps wear a MassDOT paint scheme, 2 wear the normal Jeep paint scheme, and the newest one wears a Heritage Cranberry scheme. Numerous other locomotives are still in the works. As cool as new is to me though, there's just something about the untouched that is so rustic feeling. To me, 1127 is the most unique of the 3 Jeeps, because its bell is a steel mechanical bell, the same as MBTA's now retired F40 PH2Cs. 1134 and 1136 both have sweet steel bells like other GP40MCs. back to the Grand Junction. In the time we've gone, it seems like 1138 has pulled up and backed onto the 1025 with the flat car. What a view of such a magnificent locomotive. I set up for a shot of 1138 crossing the ties over the Charles River as it heads to Franklin. And speaking of the Charles, some older Jeeps are also crossing this very river just a few miles away at North Station. In addition to the major engine overhaul program at Rochester, the MBTA has rehauled all but 7 GP40MCs, as mentioned earlier, at the Boston Engine Terminal. These in-house rebuilds include LED light installation, e-bell installation, and necessary work on the HEP generators and engine blocks, among other things. Units that are rebuilt here often require less serious work than those sent to Rochester. You can tell the difference between these GP40MCs and the Rochester ones by the color of the cab. If these cabs look freshly painted and the bottom does not, that's a BET rebuild. If the train is in a Mastop blue paint scheme, an extremely fresh MBTA paint scheme, or some kind of heritage paint scheme, it was likely overhauled at Rochester. Now there is one more Jeep that, at the time this was filmed, was recently released from the shops. On the blustery night of May 17th, 1117 was put on the Reedville switcher as one of its first jobs in the field. Here it is passing us nearby Lansdowne. Once again, we find ourselves at the BU Bridge to shoot them going to BET. Just look at how fresh 1117 looks as it fades into the night. So, what do you think? Do you like the old or the new? There won't be much old for longer, but I sure am not complaining about the new. It looks cool to me. So, until next time, I will see you all again soon, out there on the rails.